everyone, Zala Takura here. Hope you're all okay and well. I'm back. It's been a bizarrely a long and short period of time. Like, it felt like forever during the time, but now I'm sitting here in front of my computer with everything working. It feels like I've barely been away at all. I do have one thing I need to set up before I start. Although I did a full check about an hour ago, my sound alerts decided that as soon as I start to actually stream, they're going to go, nah, I'm good. So I just need to check that quickly. So let me just do this, and then I will get it checked over. Right, I have a new one. Done. Right, okay. Let me see if I can do a quick test.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
Hello. Good evening. Good afternoon. It's good afternoon. It's good afternoon, not evening. Right. I decided to come back into this game first because I thought it would be something that I could just kind of catch up with, because I have been playing this for a little while, and with me not having my computer from December until now, I know I missed some updates, because when I updated the game the other day, it was like 23 gigs. So there's some new stuff, so we're going to jump into it. I will be horrendous, because I can't remember how to play, but we're going to get into it anyway. It definitely looks like there's new content, which I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing the whole kind of like anarchy versus control kind of thing that they were hinting at previously. So it's going to be good fun. So I'm going to finish off my chocolate roll. Nom. Day 154. A rude awakening. Why am I in hospital? Did I get knocked out last time? What? The rhythmic beeping of the heart monitor brings you slowly back to consciousness. Opening your eyes, you are greeted by a semicircle of concerned faces. That is your server. Oh. Oh, right, okay. No worries, edible. Right. You've confused me now. I've got to read it again. So, opening your eyes, you are greeted by a semicircle of concerned faces. Your family, by your side. A reassuringly familiar sight in these new surroundings. You blink a few times to clear the sleep from your eyes and bring everyone into focus. You feel a hand on yours, gentle but reassuring. Sam, there with you as always. Their expression, understandably concerned, is somehow more affectionate than ever. We knew you'd be okay, never doubted it for a second, and if I ever see that boastman, you squeeze their hand back and attempt to wink. Don't get involved, you'll only make things worse. No, we'll be reassuring. The worry lines on Sam's forehead fade a bit. Lord knows you've both got enough to be anxious about without your health being thrown into the mix. With a final smile at them, you turn to the rest of your family. Susie is standing next to Sam, less worried now that you're awake and smiling. There was a oh, yes! Oh my god, yeah, we got electrocuted! I remember now. Yeah, I remember now. You can see Sam's worry on your daughter's face. But it quickly... Wow, okay, we just zoomed backwards there. But it quickly turns to a frown when she notices you looking at her. I'm glad you're okay. It's muttered more than said, a grudging acknowledgement that, despite your recent differences, she still cares. Thanks for coming, you groan back playfully. Yeah, thanks, is all you can manage, sighing. We'll put thanks for coming. Susie can't help but smile back at you, rolling her eyes good-naturedly. It's great to have her here. Charlie catches your eye as he fidgets with the edge of the blanket. You cock your head and look at him, one eyebrow raised questioningly. As soon as you turn to look at him, you can see Charlie's tense up, his concern clear on his face. So you're definitely good, right? He asks quickly, looking away. Of course I am, buddy. There's nothing to worry about. Leave the blanket alone. No, of course I am, buddy. Charlie looks at you and grins, one of those infectious smiles that spreads around the room. It's always good to have him in your corner. Your smile fades as you notice your mother staring listlessly out the window. Despite all your best efforts, she's not been doing well yet lately. Are you okay, Mum? Your mum starts, your call clearly shocking her out of reverie. She turns to you and smiles. You're grateful to see the increasingly rare recognition in her eyes. Yes, of course. Yes, dear, of course. How are you feeling? You smile warmly and nod, but before you can respond, a doctor bustles in and ushers everyone out. She asks you what feels like for the 100th time how you're feeling. Surprisingly well, all things considered. Excellent. There's no sign of any real damage, just a bit of shock to the old system. Pardon the pun, she smiles. Not that we'd recommend you do anything like that again, of course. After a couple of days rest at home, you should feel right as rain. She turns to leave, but stops at the door. Oh, and the private room and care, the doctor gestures to your room, which you now notice looks rather expensive, has all been paid for by Mr. Bozeman. He left those flowers and said not to worry and take the rest of the week off. He'll see you Monday, apparently. Oh, great. So I'm still going back to work. He smiled. What? It seems like the least he could do. Day 180. A burden to bear. Sorry, I haven't cleaned my glasses for a bit. Doobie doobie doo. Doobie doobie doo. Ooh, okay, I can see now. You come home from a particularly late shift. Oh, table. To find the kitchen light still on, which isn't normally a good sign. Everyone's usually in bed by now. Softly opening the door, you find Sam at the table. Bills and papers are strewn in front of them, as well as what looks to be a second pack of biscuits. Oh dear. They give you a quick kiss as you take a seat next to them. Sam frowns and goes back to the bill they're holding. Hey, sweetheart, just looking at the numbers again. They look to the door to the pantry, now converted into your mother's bedroom. We've been doing our best, but I think Cassandra really needs a nurse to look after her now. Suddenly the bills are all you can see. Oh dear. Lots of bills. Brian! Hi! I can wave now and actually people can see me waving. Hey dear, I hope you're okay. I've been working things out and I think we might just be able to afford it, but even with Susie home to help out and a part-time nurse, it's still a lot of money. Sam smiles at you, but you can see this has been weighing on them. Things are already difficult and this isn't making it any easier. But she's your mother. We have to, really, don't we? Can we really? And is this what she'd want? Yes, we'll make it work somehow. She needs help. The sword of Damocles sheathed, at least for the moment. You grab the papers and stuff them into your drawer. It's such a relief to not have to worry about it anymore. Also, you told Sam. Hours later, you're still awake, staring at the ceiling, thinking, how long will the money last? Dun, dun, dun. Current wealth. Not worrying every day. Why? Well, what? And down. Current wealth. Technically not negative. Right. Okay. And now we're skimming forward a lot again. What is happening? Day 232. Are we actually working now? We're working now. Yay! I am going to totally mess up. I know it's extremely quiet, like in the loading screens, apart from in like the intro loading screen, so I apologise, but hope everybody is well. You need to get a raise. I mean, I got electrocuted for doing work during a storm and when everything was faulty and broken, so I deserve to sue the company and get compensation. Not gonna happen though. Hazard pay. Yeah, exactly. Game? You okay? Long loading. Game dead. I know, right? The long loading screen. I don't think it's frozen. You okay, game? You feeling okay? You okay, little eyeball that spins? I'm assuming the game's okay. It's not saying it's not responding. Oh! We're in! We're in, team! The silence. Ooh. Okay, we want... Hello? Oh, shit, okay, I have nobody here.
Pack up your weapons of optical destruction and get out.
You realise you're beginning to sound like
I mean it, Cav.
Stay where you are. Jenny?
Oh, okay, we have 2 advertisements because the other one's broken.
I'll talk to Bucks for you.
Oh, good. You can tell him I'll return his wife's casserole dish at our dinner next week.
Past 10. Dr. Adrian Atkinson Blimey returns with a new season
Jenny.
of Incisors and his very...
I'm sorry, Kath, you're gonna have to leave.
Oh dear. Bit of drama over there. The silence,
Letting
how
it go
apt.
to your head.
She nearly blinded
10
me.
seconds,
That's all
everybody.
part of a team these days.
Things are better, Jeremy, you know that. Just stop being so
You're in
high and mighty
5,
and do your job.
4,
You'll have me fired too.
3.
Don't tempt me. Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm
Hello.
Jeremy Dawson. Our main headlines tonight.
The establishment strikes back. The World Council has agreed today to impose punitive sanctions on the people of this country.
The sanctions, which are broad-ranging, include restrictions on the supply of oil and gas, food, clothing,
We'll
and
go
even
with
some medicines.
A, I
But
guess.
how should we react? We asked the public.
So how do you feel about the sanctions?
I actually think that with advance in charge we'll be fine. Of course the rest of the world will want us to fail, or it will be their billionaires next. But I trust Julia and Peter.
Thanks, Patrick.
Popular Prime
Also,
Minister
FYI,
Julia
if
Salmon
I'm late
has released a
watching
reassuring and brave statement
comments,
in
I
response to the
apologise.
World Council's controversial announcement.
This international declaration is nothing short of outrageous. We are a democratically elected government with
Oh, they've
massive
changed the
popular
thing.
support. We do not recognize these sanctions, and we encourage other socially progressive nations of the world to both resist and ignore them.
Wait, how do I, what?
Advance
How do I,
strict
oh
criminal
god, oh
justice
god, oh
and
god, oh no, oh no! Frig! Frig! No! What the fuck was that? That's an entirely new system that nobody has told me about. Weasel, hi, thank you so much for the sub. The BBC has changed a bit since I left home. It has. I've just been fired from it. What the fuck? No, that is not fair. I do not know how to use that freaking... I know how to use it now. Bit late though. I'm fired. Oh.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawson. Our main headlines tonight.
Fired like an authentic pizza. Apparently so. Let's try this again. Now we have to wait through a ridiculously long loading screen again. How are you, Weasel? It's been a while. How's the weather? Because you're in a much nicer part of the world. As you can tell by the light hitting me, it's very grey today, so. I think the new system they've added is bullshit, though. What happened? What was wrong with the old system? There was nothing wrong with the old system. They were like, we're gonna make this harder. I'm like, screw you guys. Screw you guys. The weather. Aye, it's good. Same as always, to be honest. 28 degrees. Ugh, I'd die. I mean, we had 28 degrees a couple of weeks ago, and I was just like, oh, it's too hot. Okay, here we go. Let's try this again, shall we? Okay, so I've got to use this up and down, and then this to change the the spacing and whatnot. So, okay, I need power. Don't want the fan on. We don't need the fan on.
And get out.
You realise you're beginning to sound...
I mean it, Kath.
Stay where you are, Kath.
Jenny? This is not Jenny's decision, Jeremy. Or yours.
It'll be all right. I'll talk to both of you.
Oh, good.
Gets to 30 degrees every day. Oof.
Have dinner next week.
You're not built for the heat, but you've become used to it. You're not built for it, but you've become used to it.
I'm sorry, Kath, you're gonna have to leave.
Letting it go to your head.
She nearly blinded me.
10 seconds,
I thought we were all part of a team these days.
Things are better, Jeremy, you know that. Just stop being so
Going in
high and mighty
5,
and do your job.
You'll have me fired too.
3.
Megan and all the team at the National.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
The establishment strikes back. The World Council has agreed today to impose punitive sanctions on the people of this country.
The sanctions, which are broad-ranging, include restrictions on the supply
I'll just put
of
smiley
oil and
face
gas,
again. We'll
food,
just try and get back to what we were
and even
before.
some
It's
medicine.
just learning this
But
bit
how
of the
will
screen
we
over here that's going to be the
ask the
problem.
public, how should we react?
So how do you feel about the sanctions?
I actually think that with advance in charge we'll be fine. Of course the rest of the world will want us to fail, or it will be their billionaires next. But I trust Julia and Peter.
Thanks, Patrick. Fascinating stuff. Thanks, Patrick.
Popular Prime Minister Julia Salisbury has released a
Okay, here we go.
reassuringly brave statement in response to the World Council's controversial announcement.
This
I'm ready.
international declaration is
I'm not ready, but I'm ready.
We are a democratically elected government with massive popular support. We do not recognise these sanctions, and we encourage other socially progressive nations of the world to both resist and ignore them. We have struck fear into the heart of the international community.
No, 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 don't move it!
By showing that
Don't move it, you
possible to have
bastards!
Radical change for the betterment of the many. And whilst I wish we could improve other countries,
No, 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 don't make it bigger! No! No! No!
Entirely self-sufficient. We are
No,
a team.
no,
Now more
no,
than ever.
no, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it! Oh, thank fuck for that, okay.
Defiant stuff. But what do you, the public, think of our government's stance? Robin Short.
They're happy. They're not happy, but they're happy.
You could spend a moment to give us your thoughts on the government.
Honestly, I think they're doing a great job. I know the
Whew.
access and world checks have made the difference.
So
for
stressful.
The little one. And people seem, happier in the main. I always said things would get better with all the
Yeah, I know. He tells lies, Ara. Ara tells lies.
Over to you, fellas. Global mega corporation Remington Spring today announced that trials have successfully completed on their groundbreaking male contraceptive product, Responsibility.
The drug has been passed by the government for general release, but the small print warns that, in rare cases, side effects can include blurred vision, enlarged genitalia, and increased risk of stroke.
I just put smiley face to that. It's fine, it works, it's great.
Remington's latest venture. Patrick.
So what are your feelings on the new contraceptive pill?
I think it's a great idea. A big step forward for equality. Sophia Remington is the best thing that has ever happened to that company.
The delicate sound of thunder. A frightening start for commuters this morning, who were confronted by a somewhat sinister sight as they left their train.
Many travellers reported feeling intimidated by the silent figures who stood motionless outside every major station in the capital. Radical extremist group Disrupt, who
I'll put
organised the
C
show
for that
strength,
one.
refused
Paid
to
actor.
comment on
Fake
the
news. I know, right? I was about to say, she is totally being paid to say that.
This presenter for making him drop his morning bagel in surprise.
But how do we feel about these somewhat radical extremists and their upsetting methods? Robin found out.
Do you have any feelings about disrupt?
It's all a bit noisy for me, really. As Mother always said, leave the rebelling to the rebels, Malcolm.
Malcolm. Leave the rebelling to the rebels, Malcolm.
Doctors David Wong and Ingrid Sforsborg and Horgensford, they announced their
What name?
for harvest in Dante's taint. Although they
But what did you just say?
fungal strains, the scientists seem to be staying positive, as the following picture shows.
The undauntable scientists chose to try and survive in the cave system while the complex rescue operation inches forward up here on dry land.
Let's hope they're like Stroganoff.
But with Advance planning to spend an eye-watering amount of public money on the rescue craft, we asked Patrick Bannon to find out what we should all be thinking about the accelerating costs.
What are your thoughts on the costs of the rescue?
Oh my God, Patrick Bannon, wash your mouth out with soap. You can't put a value on human life. You have to spend whatever it takes, because one day you might be trapped in an underwater cave system and you would want exactly the same.
I don't think so, actually, because for legal reasons, we're actually not allowed within 31 yards of the coastline. So.
I am not a number. Applications finally open today for the new Advanced Team membership cards, a scheme by the government to allow fast access to all the new public services being introduced daily.
The team membership cards are entirely voluntary, but will be recognised as legal identification by all major organisations, including the police, banks, and, rightfully, pubs and bars.
Wow.
And of course, there's no charge, Jeremy.
It all seems too good to be true.
Well, you've always been a cynic. But most importantly, what should you, the public, think about the new team membership cards?
Team membership cards.
Oh yeah, fantastic. I'm applying today. I mean, why wouldn't you? What are these protesters doing? They don't want us to know who their names are. Besides, have you seen the savings you can get? I'm getting one for the little one as well.
Oh, how adorable.
Yeah, gonna be a proper little team member, aren't you? Yes, he smiled. He smiled.
And finally tonight, back to the net. Popular sports personality Johnny Hounsleeves and his fiancée Tiffany Lamour were spotted out today doing a little shopping for what many are already calling the greatest wedding ever.
We can only assume that Tiffany's latest show...
Wow, look at him carrying all that shit.
...better than expected, as by the looks of things, the whole affair's about to become more expensive than Little C's shoe collection.
I don't know who that is.
But what should your opinion be of this?
I don't know who that is.
Oh my God, fantastic!
Wise words there.
Later tonight, in a bit of a switcheroo, it'll be Jeremy in the culture chair, spitting rhymes with popular rapper Jay Zus. And then we'll both be chatting with a familiar team of thespians set to take the nation by storm again.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News.
Oh no, they're doing it to me again. They're doing it to me again. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. Did I mention I hate them? Okay.
That's tonight. Thanks, Billy. Some news as we return to our main story.
The World Council today agreed that punitive and potentially illegal sanctions should be imposed upon this country. The sanctions, which come into effect
This was being a
immediately,
trick stream,
aim to
is
stop
like
the
a
flow of food, fuel,
plot twist, there's no baby.
from reaching your pockets.
Tonight, we have guests from across the continent to discuss this unprecedented situation. For Advance, Peter Clement is at his home in Lamfordshire. Are you there, Peter?
Yes, I can hear you, Jeremy. Thank you for having me.
A momentous day, Prime Minister. Are you shaken?
Oh, I don't scare that easy, I'm afraid, old son. And neither do the people of this country.
Well, joining us is Ivan Vodovich, Foreign Minister of Urkistan. Ivan, thank you for being here.
It's a great pleasure. You, Megan Wolf, are like strongest guard at labor camp who wake up inside body of crazy, expensive prostitute. In my country, you may be worshipped as a god.
Okay.
Minister, as one of those arguing most strongly for these sanctions, how do you feel about Advance's defiant stance?
Advance is like man who think he have big career in movies land, when actually he in dirty sanitarium, screaming at mirror and holding tiny penis in hand.
He's clearly not from Svenland, then. We have like some of the cleanest mental health facilities in the continent, yeah?
And welcome to Svenland's Minister of Mojo, Björk. I'm sorry, we don't appear to have your surname.
It's just Björk, yeah. We don't use things like socially divisive surnames here.
Minister?
It's just Björk, yeah.
Right, Björk. Your country spoke in favour of Advance at the World Council today, but you were noticeably absent when it came to the actual vote.
Well, what a surprise. The hippies didn't show up for the fight.
Actually, that's quite racist, because if you must know, we were going to go to the whole, like, voting, yeah? But it's actually the Festival of Feuerland here at the moment, where we honor the old generations. So, like, we all had to look our grandparents clean, yeah, whilst the vote was happening, and that's, like, a really, really time-consuming process, actually.
You're like a sissy man. You have this expression, sissy man? Is like man with tiny penis who like to wash more than once a week.
Actually, that's quite homophobic, yeah,
Oh,
because...
stop winding him up, Ivan. We're not back at the Grange now. Sorry, Jeremy. Ivan and I used to play golf back in my media days.
Yeah, he always wins.
Nothing gives him greater pleasure than grinding people's gears. The more publicly, the better.
You're like man with tiny penis who think he have tiny penis, but actually he discovered that. Oh, could it be? No, it's tiny penis.
Ivan's just worried that when the rest of the world sees how well we're doing, they'll notice all that dosh that he's got squirreled away. Because that's what these sanctions are, Megan. They're the last pathetic gasp of an establishment in collapse. Wolves at the gates, Ivan, old mate.
Good. It can join others on my wall.
Actually, in Svenland, we have, like, serious animal welfare legislation. And, like, my friend Helge, she got arrested, yeah, for killing a butterfly that was hovering over her fuel thing. I mean, in English, jam sandwich.
I used to know a girl called Jam Sandwich. She was a right cracker, too. Wonder what became of her.
We seem to be wandering a little from the news here.
Human interest, Jeremy. The real people behind the headlines and all that. So if you're watching, Jan, give us a call.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see if we can't organise a reunion.
Christ, I'm not sure about that. I'll have to run it past Mrs. Clement first, eh?
Peter, you're like man trying to empty ashes of mistresses into oncoming vent. Soon you have tiny penis and beard full of secrets.
In Svenland, we don't really go in for all that restricted monogamy stuff here. We're kind of forward, actually.
Okay, well, it seems that we are running out of time.
Yes, so before we go to the break, briefly, if you would, gentlemen, with the people of this country facing shortages and
possible shortages and power outages.
Oh.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Possible shortages and power outages. Can you summarise your thoughts for us, Minister Beard?
Well, from here, yeah, you all look a bit...
Hi, Cheese. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're okay, dear.
Like money. In Finland, we replaced currency with a system of bodily fluids back in the 1970s, and that's like really hard to sanction, actually.
Thank you, Minister Votovich.
Your country is like man who think he invented perfect trap for giant mutant hairy bear. When really he just standing in field
holding his tiny penis, yes, Minister. And finally, Prime Minister Clement.
Let me talk to your viewers here, Jeremy. Don't worry, everybody. Don't be afraid. Don't even lose a wink of sleep. We knew the rest of the world would react this way, and we're ready. As my old man used to say, you can't make a shite pie without blocking a few toilets.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
Reassuring words there.
We'll be back
after these messages.
1 minute back.
Hey, Peter, I over your way this weekend. You fancy a quick 9?
Yeah, sure, front or back.
That's what I hope you're asking Megan Wolf for me.
She's out of your league, mate.
Yeah.
Thank you for the correction.
Well, you have to be more careful.
It's all part of his long-term plan to get fired live on the news at 6 in front of the nation.
I'm good, thank you, Cheese. I hope you are too. I got A grade there. Oh, that was stressful. Okay. Stretch.
This is important. New government censorship should show up in blue. Same as regular censoring. Keep an eye out for the advanced blue waveform.
Right, okay. Why have I not got a phone that's fixed from the electrical shock I received?
Foreign royalty.
What?
So censor blue and red. Okay, cool. Thank you for paying attention as well.
This is Jeremy, and he'll be interviewing you.
Yo, thanks for having me on your show, man.
It's quite alright.
Yo, just a quick one. You're not going to ask me about the chimp, are you?
Live in 10 seconds.
Because he put that get up on himself.
You're not going to ask me about the chimp, are you?
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I'm Megan Wolf. Later, we have an exclusive first look at a theatrical sensation everyone's going to be talking about. But first, it's time to go over to the culture spot with lovely old Jeremy Donaldson, who's joined by a very special guest. Jeremy.
Thanks, Megan. I have the honour and privilege of being joined by hip-hop royalty. He's been called the son of the streets and the father of truth. Not sure how that works, but whatever. Let's welcome Jesus!
Thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, it's a real honour to be here on your show, The News. You know, as a kid on the streets, I used to watch you through a window of the shop, so to be here right now is crazy.
You've had quite the journey to be here today. Can you tell us about it?
Well, you know, I try not to, well, you know, the past is the past, and I don't like to dwell on it.
I understand.
But yeah, man, the streets is all I remember. Like, my mother donated me to a charity shop soon after I was born. Elderly lady took pity on me. You know, she let me sleep on a pile of crime fiction until I taught myself how to walk.
Wow, that's quite the childhood.
And she died tragically. Right there in my arms, man. You know, I remember a tear falling as she laid there next to the used homeware. And in that moment, I became a child of the streets. I was just 18 months old.
What a tale. What a... You're known for your direct and honest lyrics. Was your style informed by your troubled past?
Oh, like I said, I try not to talk about it. It's just too hard.
Of course.
But my first album is about
I love this guy already.
A small group of infants came to see me as their de facto leader. They call me Mr. Cheese Slice. Anyway, we were like a family.
So it would seem. Recently, you've been outspoken about the government.
Yeah, fuck the government. Fuck advance. Fuck Peter Clement.
What is it that you object to so vehemently?
Well, you know, they stole from us. They're taking our money and spending it, man.
Redistributing it. Actually, homelessness has been all but eliminated in the last couple of months.
So?
Surely that's a cause close to your heart?
Mr. Cheese Slice, I know, right? That's what you should call yourself, Cheese.
Nah, of course, man. Very much so. I just mean, like, why do I have to pay for it, you know?
You don't. People have been rehoused on property seized from the historically wealthy. And that couldn't have been you, could it?
Look, yeah. I worked hard to be here. I built this from nothing. And I deserve to be rewarded for that.
Would you say you worked harder than, say, a farmer or a care worker?
I don't know. But if people are taking something from my music, choose to value it, buy it, who's to say I don't? And no one can take that away from me.
Not even to help, say, vulnerable children?
Mr. Cheese Slice.
What is it you're trying to say?
I just don't understand where you've placed yourself politically. I mean, is it ideological or is it tactical?
Well, it's more of
or
like...
maybe it's hereditary.
Stop trying to tie me in knots with your words, Jeremy. I let the music speak for itself. And the people agree with me.
Well, that remains to be seen. But you have given me a very easy segue out of a conversation that I promise you was much more painful for me
than it was for you.
So here he is with his hit song, Mrs. Ludlow's Tears.
Oh no, I'm going to do something a little different. It's a new single I've been working on.
Oh, so this is unapproved, is it?
Yeah. You love it?
Excellent. Don't worry, we've got a state-of-the-art censorship system. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to do it all.
Here he is with a new song. Aren't we lucky? It's Jesus!
First, you're gonna pay up. You're gonna pay back.
This is just going to go down in tears. Here we go.
Well, we're all different races from many different places. At any given moment, only one could be the greatest. So you can feel the elation from your participation. Still two leaders in this motherfucking nation. Now we're getting sanctioned, talking about expansion. Why does Julius require a massive fucking mansion? So fuck all your schemes. I don't need your freaky team, and I don't need your help to achieve my fucking dreams. So don't make a fuss when and you'll find you're one of us. Yeah, every single one of you's a bit Jesus. And you can call me crazy, cause no one ever pays me. But I won't waste a lifetime being motherfucking lazy. I may be inventive, my taste may be expensive, but why would I get out of bed with no fucking incentive? Although it's contravention of your obvious intention, I like to eat a little of the fruits in my invention. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. The best of the praise, of the crest of the wave, cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head.
Oh my god!
Shit, he's got a job, he's unfaithful. It's time to storm the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. So this is for the snub ones, the push and the shove ones, the folks that feel the burden of their motherfucking loved ones. Ones who had plenty like a motherfucking Bentley. The ones who now finding that their bank accounts are empty. The ones of aspiration who had to flee a nation. The ones who built a business out of dreams of perspiration. There's all sorts of people, the good and the evil. It only takes a glance to see we're not all equal. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. And the best of the praise, of the crest of the waves, cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Gonna take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to storm the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Get out of your seats, get your asses in the streets, set a fire in the building, let them feel some fucking heat. Take your hate to go getters, the squilling bet getters, and burn them on the powers of advances fucking letters. Gonna take his facts, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to storm the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Chase that dream, you don't need a fucking team, and advances little dances aren't as harmless as it seems.
This is so hard, guys!
Lend your hearts and your minds and your fists to destruct.
Jesus there with his new song. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio. I'm sorry. I may not agree with you, but I'd just like to offer you an apology. I've just been told that there was some kind of issue upstairs, and an attempt was made to censor some of your lyrics.
What? Are you joking?
I'd just like to say to you and everyone at home that this was a mistake.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe this.
Here at the National Nightly News, we pride ourselves on remaining neutral, unbiased, and independent of any outside interference. You have my word. We will never censor ideas. Back to you, Megan.
Well, a bit of dangerous language there, sorry about that. Well, thank you to little Jeremy Donaldson for providing our culture spot. Coming up, we'll be speaking to a couple of familiar faces about their upcoming dramatic outing. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
That's the ad.
Jenny, this is fucking outrageous!
Oh, shit.
No, this is ridiculous. Who do I complain to?
This is just a mix-up, I'm sure. Now, if you come with me, I really do have to ask
Oh,
you to
trust me.
leave it.
My father's going to hear about this.
Oh, God.
This is unbelievable, Megan!
I don't know what you're talking about, Jeremy.
People are going to get in so much trouble if they get caught for not following the...
Just a reminder, fixing that old VCR. Put in a new tape. Last ad break.
What? But it's broken!
Oh, here we go.
Oh, stop it.
Look at it.
I'll have to put A in.
Oh, say no more. Say no more.
Oh, God.
Jeremy, you remember Mr. Algebra?
Yeah, I've took a tape out. I've got... Just remind me when we get to the end, I've got to press A, not C. This is going to be a long one.
Awfully exciting, isn't it?
Right, anyway.
Okay, then.
I'm going to need my chocolate salty caramel fudge. Let's do this.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. And no, you're not mistaken. Sitting across from us are some very familiar faces.
You really are too kind, Megan. It was only a yogurt commercial, but I'm still proud of it.
Here to talk about his new show, we're joined by National Treasure Tommy Harris, the National Theatre's Philippa Rayton, and National Deficit Jeff Algebra.
It's so lovely to have you all. Tommy, would you like to tell us about the show?
You know what? I'd bloody love to. It's about me. It's about my life.
And where did the idea come from?
So, right, picture this. Their legs akimbo, mid-session, sweat is pouring out of me like an immense hog. And then Cindy comes in, she says, Pete's on the phone.
That's Peter Clement, the Prime Minister.
Yeah, Pete's actually a really good mate of mine.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, no, he comes to the training sometimes. He's actually a pretty good goal sweeper. Anyway, so, yeah, Pete, he says, Toby, he thinks my name's Toby, see? He says, how would you like to spread your message of team spirit and cooperation across this fractured nation? How would you like to really make a difference in these desperate times?
What did you say?
Yeah, right, yeah.
So, Jeff, the question on everyone's lips is, what in God's name are you doing here?
Well, after the success of my debut work and all the people that I've touched, I knew that I had a career in theatre. Yeah? I've always been an admirer of Tommy from afar. So when my manager phoned and said I'd been offered the gig as director, I was ecstatic. I whipped my trousers off and got straight to work.
Why did you do that?
I do all my best work with my trousers off.
Yeah, I've been told that too.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Right, Tommy, sorry, would you just give us a sense of what the show is actually about?
It's
No
about
worries.
how hard it's been for me and some of the struggles that I've faced. It's like really getting to the heart of how tough it is to be me. I call it Tommy Harris, Jesus, that was hard.
Catchy. We actually have some clips of the process of the show. Would you mind telling us what's going on here?
Yeah, so the show is built around two things that are very important to me. It mixes scenes from my life as well as epic fantasy retellings of scenes from my life.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
What?
I'm sorry, son. You're an embarrassment.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
Back, demon! Back to the hells!
Philippa, what's it been like co-starring with Tommy Harris?
I've always dreamed of treading the boards at medium-scale regional theatres, Megan. And for once, this show really gives me something to sink my teeth into.
What's different about this show, then?
Tommy, Mr. Harris's show really lets me show my tremendous range as an actor. I've always suffered from typecasting, forced to play the same tired characters in every god-awful yogurt advert or godforsaken soap opera or, God forbid, a pantomime. But, you know, this show has really let me just go there.
Jeff, the viewers at home will be dying to know exactly what is it that you bring to the show?
Oh, good question. I think these guys would agree with me when I say that it's my steady hand on the tiller, my arm round the shoulder approach that's really brought the production from strength to strength.
Absolutely right. Jeff's contributions are immeasurable.
He was in his trousers. Whoopsies.
Anything else that might be in the show?
Yeah, all sorts, yeah.
Yep. We've got lots of exclusive first-hand experiences of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
And some epic fantasy retellings of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
You'll never take the sacred path!
And am I right in saying this was officially commissioned by the government?
Yeah, all paid for by the taxpayer, which, you know, to be honest, was actually a lifesaver, really.
I think it's fair to say that without Advance's support, we'd have had to cut the finale.
Which frankly would have been a travesty.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ!
They put a CGI dragon in there.
Absolutely. It's a metaphor.
For what?
Death.
And the public are footing the bill, are they?
Too bloody right they are. Between the cost of my tour bus and the dry cleaning of my ties, I'm barely scraping a profit here.
Amazing. And where can the folks at home come and see this for themselves?
We're performing all over the nation.
And people can see it for absolutely free, all courtesy of Advance. Isn't that incredible, Jeremy?
Yes, it's unbelievable, Megan.
Well, thank you all so much for coming. Next time we see you, no doubt, you'll have taken our jobs.
That's all we have time for tonight. Join us tomorrow when I'll be interviewing the world's most attractive horse. I'm Jeremy Johnson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. And from all of us here, have a peaceful night.
That's the ads. Let's
Oh,
tomorrow, please.
okay.
Hey,
I'm
we
all
must
right.
Stop bumping into each other like this, eh?
Yeah, she doesn't want it. She doesn't want... Oh my god. Broadcast complete. Oh, okay. I get so tense playing this game because I'm having to focus on so many things. Broadcast report B. I'll take it. That ass shot though. I know, right? Just put it on, like, I accidentally pressed it. I meant to press 3, but my finger was still on 2. I was like, oh shit, pants shot. You received your full wages. That said broadcast what? Manageable debt. Great. The world. Oh dear. So, advance is going up because I was nice to them. The anarchy thing's not doing well though. But I've not been helping the anarchy, so... Here we go. Day 242. A ladder worth climbing. Freaking what we going on with this music? It's a lazy Sunday afternoon in summer. I'm on my bass guitar. Screamo music. What the fuck is happening? You bang your head coming out of the cupboard with the last 2 slices of homemade cake. It used to be much easier when you could store things in the pantry. It's rare for you and Sam to eventually get to finish sweet things in this house, and you savour every moment. Just as you take the last bite, you hear the front door slamming. That'll be Charlie back from the Go-Getters. You can hear him practically running to come find you, and he's grinning from ear to ear when he finally does. I have some really big news. What is it? Ready? Charlie asks as you both nod enthusiastically. With a flourish, he reveals a new badge from his pocket. Okay, I'm sorry, I'll stop now. As of today, I'm a member of the first tier Cohesion Cadets. There's way more stuff I'm going to be doing, and I'll be working some weekends, but it's really cool. Sam congratulates Charlie, but you can't help but frown. It seems a big step for teenagers. You're thrilled that he's happy and doing well. It will be nice, I guess. Day 57. If the I've got my window open at the moment, so if anyone is like annoyed or can hear it, let me know and I'll close it. What have I missed? You missed me jamming out to rock music, and you missed an arse shot. That's about all, really. You've always had dinner as a family for the important events, and tonight is no exception. Charlie ostensibly resents not being able to go to his friend's house this evening, but you can tell he's happy to be with you, really. It'll be the last time you're all going to be together for a while. So far, you've even managed to avoid fighting with Susie over politics, something Sam is no doubt grateful for. With her exams and your work, you've not seen much of Susie lately. Of course, it's especially nice having your mum there. She and Susie were always close. Seeing your daughter step up and help out with your mother has really been heartwarming. So, Alex, I believe you had a few words? Sam pointedly asked, nodding towards Susie. Your daughter cocks an eyebrow with a quizzical expression, and you can't help but see a little of yourself in it. Ah, yes, of course. What's this about? Susie asked, laughing as she takes a drink of her champagne-adjacent sparkling wine. Sam made a point this afternoon that it was a big day and that you should all be celebrating our achievements. So our little Susie. Come on, honey, we're waiting, Sam says softly. You're not going to go off about the government again, are you? You're like a broken record, Susie smiles at you and a twinkle in her eye. I just wanted to say we're proud of you, Susie. Well done for getting into med school. Oh, Susie's mischievous smile becomes a grin as she gets up, comes round to the table and gives you a big hug. I'm going to miss you. You can see Sam start to tear up as they stand and join the embrace. Missus, are you going somewhere? A good question. Susie laughs, breaking the hug. No, you're not getting rid of me yet, but I'll probably have to leave when I get my first posting. Oh, hush now, let's not talk about that. Sam cuts her off, smiling. The rest of the evening passes as a happy blur. You couldn't be prouder. Day 278, a sign of things to come. Oh, we're in the car now. Back to the electrical music, apparently. Shopping, something that has always seemed so tedious before the sanctions, has become even more of a chore now. You managed to get almost everything you need for the family this evening, but you'll have to come back tomorrow to get through the week. There's a queue to leave the car park, and though it's hard to make out in the dark, hopefully whatever's causing it won't be long. Oh dear. As the final car in front of you drives off, you realise the queue is actually due to a checkpoint set up at the exit. A friendly-looking man in advanced uniform, CCO emblazoned in a number of places on it, approaches your car and knocks on the driver's side window. You roll it down. Good evening, nothing to worry about. I was just wondering if I could see your team membership card, please. Didn't Sam sign you both up for yours a few weeks back? You rummage in the glove box and eventually produce your card. Yep, that's all great, thanks. Don't forget to keep an eye out for the new team lottery starting up soon. Loads of great benefits to be won, so have a nice day now. The man is all smiles as he pats the bonnet of your car and waves you off. So are these cards mandatory now? Yes, they are. According to what Jeremy said on the news, they're going to be replacing fucking identification. It's a Saturday, one of your few days off, and you've made the most of it. But as late afternoon draws on, the invitation sits pinned to the fridge, staring accusingly at you. The Channel 1 Gala is a mandatory work event. Boseman was very quick to tell you. Also, don't you dare be late. It's probably not wise to risk Boseman's wrath. Better go. You already missed your anniversary this year. You're not going to give up another Saturday. No, we should get to work. Best start getting ready. You wonder if Sam will give you a lift. A drink or two might help with the enforced office socialising. Hopefully it won't be too bad. After all, you're pretty good at your job. Right? No, I'm not. A national news night. Look how posh it is! You arrive on time, barely, at the Sylvanian, one of the oldest and grandest hotels in the capital. You're surprised to see a queue to get in and quickly realise it's because people are being searched at the door by some military-looking personnel in smart attire. While you're waiting, you can't help but notice just how very opulent the building is, possibly the fanciest place you've been to in your life. You submit to being patted down and with a sigh of relief are let into the hotel. Once inside, you're directed to the grand ballroom, and following the signs you marvel at the sheer scale of the place and the amount of armed security guards. When you finally arrive, a very severe-looking woman at the door asks for your name. I'm Alex Winston. She curtly checks her list before whispering something to the waiter beside her. You've made it just in time to be seated before dinner. Please follow Emmanuel here to your table. The waiter smiles at you and opens one of the great double doors, gesturing you to enter. Immediately, you can see why it's called the Grand Ballroom. You pause for a second to take it all in. You feel a slight tap on your arm and Emmanuel gestures you to follow him. He seats you at the table away from the central floor area, half under a set of stairs. The view of the stage is at best partially blocked. Boseman's definitely not happy with you at the moment. You sat with some colleagues you've heard of around the Channel 1 offices before, but haven't met. For the most part, they're considered slackers at best and about to be fired at worst. Great! What category do I fit in? As the evening goes on, you hear Jeremy Donaldson receive an award for outstanding contributions to journalism. You also hear Megan Wolf accepting it on his behalf as he hadn't turned up to the event. Not unusual, apparently. But it's hard for you to tell too much from your limited view under the stairs. You also notice a community cohesion officer hovering near your table. They seem to be as bored to be here as you. A few glasses of, no doubt, very expensive wine later, you see Boseman speaking to a few specific tables, joined by what looks like Prime Minister Julius Salisbury and Peter Clement. This is confirmed by an unimpressed nod from the CCO when you ask them, perhaps a little too loudly. Their presence sparks a debate between those at your table about the virtues of both advance and disrupt. You espouse how advance is making the country a better place. You argue in favour of disrupt and their ideals of freedom. You stay out of politics. You've probably had too much to drink. Never get involved in politics. Rule numero uno. You end up talking and staying later than you thought you would, despite yourself. Sam isn't best pleased when you keep them waiting outside for 20 minutes. But it was an entirely terrible evening in the end. You'd still rather have been at home though. Maybe you'll skip the next one. Off to a good start so far. Oh, we're going back in. I haven't even been questioned by the anarchy yet, so I'm wondering what's going to happen there, if I'm going to be approached by the group that are called Disrupt. Because I did enjoy that little trailer at the end where we're just like, we are the order. I was like, okay, what's going on here? The heat wave. Oh, great. Awesome. Love it. I have no phone. Hello? I have a speaker now. Ah, they fixed it! Oh yeah, duh. Ugh! Great.
Down the sun, have you?
Yes, they've just strapped on their wax wings.
Classical illusions are no substitute for air conditioning.
You know, I genuinely thought you'd be in a better mood today. She's not even here.
Yes, but he is. Our gun-toting handler.
Who is he?
I don't know what the fuck his name is, do I?
He's here to keep us safe from people like Disrupt.
More like killers in line. Guns.
This is going to be a long day.
So, actual real news tonight.
Well, the world's on fire. That good enough for you? Going in 5, 4.
Wow, look how bad it is outside.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight. Siege mentality. The World Council today established a military blockade to enforce the unjust and punitive sanctions now entering their 10th week. In a statement from team headquarters a short time ago, Prime Minister Julius Salisbury.
They both look the same.
Response to this unprovoked escalation.
The World Council should make no mistake. This blockade and the illegal sanctions it seeks to enforce are an act of war and will be treated as such.
Oh shit, okay.
Any incursion, however slight, into our territory will be met with swift and deadly force. You have been warned.
You have been warned. Oh shit.
Three's a crowd.
Sassy girl.
The wedding of the decade might have been a touch busier than expected. In a photo leaked today, it appears the union of football star Johnny Hansleaves and his bride Tiffany Lamour may have had a few hundreds lined the street to celebrate with the happy couple. Eyewitnesses say a cheer went up as the blushing bride passed by in her carriage, shaped like a bacon sandwich, which is said to be either a protest against the meat industry or a mix-up at the carriage factory. In it to win it. Exciting news from Advance today with the announcement of a new monthly prize draw for all team membership card holders. Every month, lucky winners from across the country will be picked at random to receive what Team HQ are describing as unique prizes worth more than money used to be. Take-up on the scheme has been much higher than expected, and if this lucky winner's delighted face is anything to go by, it looks like pretty soon everyone's going to have one. Hard pill to swallow. Throngs of men take the streets in response to the release of new pharmaceutical responsibility. Remington Smith's revolutionary male contraceptive pill first hit our shelves earlier
Oh
this
no,
month.
look at them
As a
all
result,
sitting there like,
Scout
oh,
has been around the
fuck.
block and around the clock ever since. Pharmacies up and down the territory report that they are unable to meet the demand for the wildly popular drug, with some customers camping outside for upwards of 72 hours.
Why?
Satisfied CEO Sophia Remington says they've scaled up production and will soon have manufactured enough to satisfy even the randiest of consumers. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Progress today for the stranded scientists of Dante's Taint, as the captain leading their rescue mission is announced. The trapped team have survived in the cave system for many months now, but hope is on the horizon as the expedition leader is announced by the Board of Underground Theoretics. A respected professional with decades of experience, training and knowledge, Captain Audrey Aerospace is said to be the only real choice to successfully save the troubled scientific excursion, but an unfortunate one to be sat next to at a dinner party or social occasion. Burning down the house? The capital was put on high alert last night after disrupt terrorists set an emblematic fire in the heart of Parliament Park. Violent conflict broke out at the demonstration after a mob of so-called protesters from the radical group launched an unprovoked attack on community cohesion officers in attendance. With the methods of this increasingly violent rabble becoming ever more extreme, many are asking if the military should intervene. Colonel Phineas Mad Badger Fortingley Davis of the 1st Mounted Bastards Brigade said his men were, and I quote, oiled up and ready for action.
Oiled up?
All this, and I'll be talking to some people with fascinating medical conditions, as well as one of the contenders in this year's Feline Football Championship, and her proud owner. That's all up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Oh no. Here we go. No, no, no. No! No! No!
But first tonight, our team of correspondents
Jesus
has been
Christ.
to every corner of the country to see how the people of this great nation of ours are coping with this unprecedented hot weather. First, let's go to Megan Wolf in Shining-on-Sea to see what this
Fan went
scientific
turned
news
itself off, didn't it?
Megan, how's the weather there?
It's absolutely glorious, Jeremy. Thank you for asking. I'm here
Stop.
with Dr. Anna Burns at the University of Princeton. Are you enjoying the weather as much as I am?
Oh, yes, it's wonderful, isn't it? My eyelids are sweating.
My eyelids are sweating.
You're part of a team carrying out a study into just what's causing this unbelievable heat, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, we want to be able to reassure the public once and for all that there's absolutely nothing to worry about and that they can enjoy their sunstroke and fossil fuels.
Don't you dare, Fan.
I'm very confident about that.
Oh, very much so. I can say without any hesitation, there's really no cause for any concern here. I've actually left my car running.
So tell us about this experiment.
Well, we take data from weather stations from all over the world, along with atmospheric samples, and we take all that and we feed it into this state-of-the-art computer, and very soon we'll be getting a high-tech readout of the results.
Welcome back, Edible.
I should just say, none of this would be possible without the generous support of Remington Smith. This is all thanks to their unrivaled investment in
a second ago that everything is absolutely fine, so...
Well, actually, under concern level, it just says, why, God, why?
We should be celebrating these wonderful results, I think.
Yeah? We need to evolve gills within 40 years.
Oh, God.
Here it just says, shit.
Look at you. This is meant to be a celebration. Can't go around looking like that.
Shit,
There you go, much better. Can I just say thank you again to Sophia Remington for providing all of this.
Everyone, we don't have long. Time is running
running out. Absolutely right. That is
No!
time for...
Abandon hope and return to the forest.
There you are. Enjoy that. I'd like to thank Dr. Burns for just one opinion on the planet.
The sea will reclaim us all.
There you have it, Jeremy. Proof, if proof be need be, that everything is just fine. I'm Megan Wolf, here with science. Back to you.
Megan Wolf there, attempting to do some actual news. Next, let's over to Robin Short, who's in Scritchford with some of the winners of this week's team membership lottery. Robin?
Thanks, Jeremy. I'm here in
Thanks,
Scritchford
Jeremy.
with Gary Belsafe, a janitor at the local school, and Amelia Jackhammer, an aspiring poet.
No.
Both of you were drawn at random from those who hold
Stupid fan.
membership cards to receive this week's amazing prize. How do you feel?
Filled with fervent euphoria.
Yeah, good, yeah.
And all that we had to do was fill in a quick form or two.
Wow, that sounds so convenient. But we're all dying to know, what have you won?
That's right, Robin. I've won dinner with Julia Salisbury at one of the capital's top restaurants.
Ooh, swanky.
And I've been invited to Peter Clement's house to help him dredge the gutter in.
That's absolutely terrific.
That's
You
not a
must
present
be
or a
over the
prize.
moon.
I've written a poem about it.
So, can you tell me about the moment when you first heard the news?
Well, I was battling against a particularly difficult floater.
No.
Sixth formers, when the headmaster came and found me.
I was involved in a similarly brutal conflict with a particularly arduous stanza.
So you were both polishing turds?
No, I don't like to polish them. I like to keep them intact for my collection.
Oh. How unexpected.
I don't polish turds. I write poetry.
Potato, potato. So, Gary...
Do you think Peter Clement's going to let me keep the contents of his downpipe?
There's no harm in asking, I suppose.
Would you like to hear one?
No, thank
Itchy
you.
eyeball.
Gary,
I need an extra hand. Jesus.
Was it in hopes of winning the lottery, or were there other reasons?
I like a flutter, of course, but no, the boss said I had to sign up to keep coming into school.
Very sensible. It's important to know who we're trusting around our children.
Oh, I have an unpublished book of sonnets about children. Perhaps you'd like to hear one.
No!
Or an anthology of haikus on the death of infants.
I'd rather hear about
Imagine having
Gary's
multiplayer.
turd
It would be
collection.
easier, I think. It would be easier.
Are you all right?
Yes, it's coming. It's inspiration, and it's delicious.
Right you are.
Right. No.
Today on the show, there's no news. Just a man who keeps multiple poos.
Yeah, this big one's my favourite. See how it's fibrous, really lovely texture.
Oh my god, he's brought his turds out.
To enter for their chance to win.
Take a gander at old Blue Eyes here.
Oh, bollocks.
The national news lost its way when it covered some crap on a tray.
Some of these are quite rare.
Maybe that was unfair.
And that's all we have time for today. Back to you, Jeremy.
Thanks, Robin. What a lucky pair they are. And finally in this segment, it's over to Patrick Bannon, who's gone to the smelliest town in the country to see how the unprecedented weather is affecting the locals. Patrick?
Hello there, Jeremy. Hello, yes. I'm here live in Grizzleford, which has recently voted the smelliest town in the country. And I have to say that, you know, in this...
Nikki! No! No! Stop.
Barry Lardons, mate. You've lived here your whole life.
I hope you're well, Nikki. You'll have to give me a second. I'm having to multitask very,
To be
very...
honest with you. You can tell that, look at him, proud as punch.
a lot. English, I sprechen it.
No, I don't. Living in the shadow of Arseminster, those smug fucks. But who's laughing now, eh?
Well, not me, that's for sure. So what happened, mate?
Right, the good people from Remington's Fist came in and saved the day with their factory.
Do your thing. Thank you.
Yeah, they gave us this big presentation on jobs and growth. But as soon as we heard about the stench, we paid them whatever they wanted to put it here.
This thing's not affect your life.
No, 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 no. Oh! No. No.
It's strong at first, but you get
Ah-ha-ha.
several weeks in your first bout of sickness.
Too much multitasking.
So, what's sickness?
Oh, that's nothing to
Too
worry
much
about.
multitasking.
Any symptoms? Now, folk are saying something about the production line and how they dump carcasses directly into the water main, but I think it's probably the few valves on the high street.
On the high street. Should I see a doctor? What are the symptoms?
Well, the first one is asking stupid questions. Then folk experience a loss of inhibition.
Fuck off, do they? When was the last time you brushed your teeth, you stinking old tramp?
A next recording is a period of randomly bursting into song, followed immediately by
Delusions.
grandeur.
That's not really a problem, they'll sung of my life. Hello, it's sexy Patrick Bannon, and he's wearing sexy shorts now. Oh my God, look at me. I'm like a stallion. I'm gorgeous, why didn't you tell me? I should take my shirt off. You know what? I'll even let you touch me if you want.
Oh.
That'll be the bout of undeserved self-confidence.
Love the Bannon. Feel the Bannon. Oh, man. What's the point?
And the ennui. All that's left now
Is the
are
hallucinations.
and unconsciousness.
Nanodotti? Was that you? Why are you made out of elbows? You know I don't eat opinions.
Shit. Ah. I'm busy right now.
Fine, we'll just find a place to stick it where it won't matter how many times he evacuates his bowels.
Oh my God.
Right, that's all here from Grizzleford, a town that's really making a stink.
No, stop turning off.
Back to you, Jeremy. Right
Thanks,
now.
Baron. With a naval blockade being set up around our coastline as we speak, when we come back, I'll be talking to 3 members of the general public who appear to be here purely for medical reasons. Don't go away. Unless, of course, you've got something better to do. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back.
Oh,
Well, that was stupid, even for you.
I don't care.
I don't care.
It's done. I am done. It's 200 fucking degrees in here, and I can't do this anymore.
You say this every Friday.
I've done something.
What do you mean? Jeremy?
My mic is still...
I want to know what he was going to do. No.
Section features a potentially controversial guest, and Barnes may request some censorship if he goes too
Wait. What is this? What is this?
That's what I'm talking about? Cat football?
Shall I play it?
The War Minister.
Shall I play it?
From Grantham Downs. Even the weather will be more fucking relevant than this.
Jeremy.
Fuck it. I'm going to play it last.
Something like to keep people's minds off things.
Exactly.
Do it.
Your mind should be very much on things.
Oh yeah. Down with the government.
I can't do this anymore, Jenny. I've had enough.
That's if you don't like the government.
10 seconds.
I mean, I don't.
Over yourself, Jeremy. Why don't you stop feeling sorry for yourself for 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News.
Poor Jeremy. I feel so sorry for Jeremy.
Later,
He really hates the fucking government.
first cat football team.
And he's
Professor
like-
Pumpkin. But first, I'm joined by 3 guests with some balmy bodily behaviours. Joining me is a woman who's been hiccuping for over 9 months. Isn't that right, Miss Piercy?
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Tell us, what brought all this on?
Well, it's all a bit of a blur, Jeremy, to be totally frank with you. So I was watching your show and I remember seeing the news about the election, and it hasn't stopped since.
Fascinating stuff. Also here is Frankie Steampipe. Perhaps you could explain to us exactly what your physiological fourboil is.
I'm here to say it's high time people like me were respected.
We're constantly overlooked in the workplace, we're whispered about on buses, and we're asked politely to leave children's birthday parties. And it's disgusting. I'm sorry, my bowels have comic timing.
And finally,
They have comic timing.
Every question honestly, even when it isn't aimed at him. How do you cope with that, Mr. Truman?
With a combination of booze, self-hatred, and hardcore pornography. Not according to my therapist.
No!
In that case, let's speak to Rose. Tell me, how does the hiccuping impact you?
I get shushed a lot, which is hard. At work, they've asked me to stop answering the phones. It's really affecting my confidence.
Well, I find it really fucking irritating.
People tend to believe your story?
Fuck no.
Actually, I've been surprised at how much support I've received.
And Frankie, why have you come here today?
Because my wife left me, and I was hoping that the fame would win her back.
We've started a group for people with ailments deemed broadly comical by society. It's called Take Us Seriously.
That's right. And we bloody well mean it.
And who's joined so far?
A bunch of fucking losers.
It's just us so far.
And how much success have you had?
Well, we've seen some real positive changes.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's been a runaway success.
Shit all. Not a single person come to our fun run, and all of our leaflets fell in the canal.
Well, Miss Piercy, some people are saying your condition was actually caused by the shocking events of that night. What do you think?
Come down, Mr. Donaldson, that's absolute rubbish.
What it'd be like to have a pair of tits.
Could you? I'm sorry, it's very hot. What was I thinking?
That you're a team fuck puppet?
No.
Or a sellout cunt?
Apologies. Just a reminder that he can't help it. And hey, if this isn't live television, then what is it?
Fuckfest of propaganda masquerading as journalism.
Right, Frankie, Rose, tell us, how can the viewers get involved with your cause?
Yes, we're holding a sponsored run in Capital Park next weekend. It's called the No Smiles 13 Miles.
No, it's called the No Laugh Half. What did I say before the show?
That it was the team pulling Jeremy Donaldson's strings.
No, I didn't say.
Wow, we may have to end that there, unfortunately. What a harmless bit of fun.
Steady on!
This is exactly what I'm talking about. We demand respect.
Yes, well, later, I'll be talking to Professor Puck.
Everyone needs to see that.
Tell me with a well-cast pair of penalty paws. Is that really necessary?
No, it isn't. Let go. Not you.
Unhand him at once.
Enough! That's enough! Enough!
What are you doing?
Jeremy!
Alex,
don't you dare! Don't you fucking dare cut to the ads before I tell you to.
I won't.
You in the broadcast centre.
Yes.
Bozeman's little scapegoat.
Yes.
You listen to me.
Yep.
You cut to the ads before I tell you to, and I will kill every single person in this studio. I am thinking about what I'm doing. I've been thinking about it for a long time.
Oh my god!
Christ, it's so fucking hot in here.
Yeah, they need to hear the
Do you
swearing.
remember when we used to do the real news? Before it was all lottery winners and...
No, I don't want to! I want to hear this!
We are on the brink of a siege, the likes of which the world hasn't seen in...
Look how many views I'm getting!
Is at the gates, and I'm stuck here talking to these three fucking idiots. You three, get the fuck out of my studio. Go on, now, go, before I change my mind. Jenny, lock the doors. Lock the doors.
Yes, Jeremy.
Now. Good. Yes. Now. Right. You in the broadcast centre.
Yes.
Alex.
Yes. Hello!
You pay attention.
Yes.
Now, I'm sure you've already loaded up exactly what you're going to play in the commercial, but today's going to be a little bit different. Look to your right. Yes, really. Look to your right. There is a VHS tape.
Yes.
I want you to load it into one of the machines.
Yes.
And when I say so, and not before, you play it.
Yes.
You've got about 15 seconds, so I wouldn't waste any time.
Oh, no, I want to play it.
All cameras.
I assume you won't be playing that tape. This station does not negotiate with terrorists. I hope I've made myself clear.
Yeah, but I like Jeremy more than you! You electrocuted me! You made me work!
Over now, we're going to show the other side for a bit.
That is like, ain't none of my business.
The good old days. Alex, play the fucking tape.
Yes, boss. I don't care. This is fun.
Reset the system for the third segment. I imagine the ratings are going to be through the roof.
They are through the roof. Literally locked through the roof.
We're going to tell you the truth. Advance aided by the mass media are lying to you. The elderly are not a burden. The rich were not all crazy. And the team membership card is an ID card, no matter how tempting the prizes are. But who am I to tell you this? A voice from the shadows trying to tell you that everything you know is wrong. Why would you trust a man too scared to show his own face?
I knew it was him.
Don't switch off. Please, don't switch off. My name is Alan James, and I think that certain rights are worth fighting for.
Yep.
The right to keep the rewards of our own hard work.
Yep.
The right to be kept alive in our dotage. And the right to question our government without worrying what our children will report to their fellow go-getters. I love this country. It may be what I am, and I'll fight for it. In fact, I'll die for it. If I have to. But I can't do it alone. Disrupt a growing movement.
How long?
But we need your help.
What would happen if you played the advanced ads after he tells you not to?
Look for us. Find us.
And the
And
studio
if you
doors are
also
all
know
still
in your
locked?
heart that there is something deeply wrong in this country, join us. Resist.
I don't know.
Disrupt.
This wasn't what I planned. I mean, some of it was. I had a speech, look. But this was unexpected.
So what now, Jeremy?
It was supposed to be your day off.
God, please, don't do any more stupid things today.
How long? How long, Jenny?
You already lied.
Welcome back to the National Night.
Shit.
Joining me, unexpectedly, for I very much imagine will be my last broadcast, are two new guests. Jenny works here at the National Nightly News and is someone I consider, well, a friend. And next to her is, what's your name?
Andy.
Andy's a policeman. Only we don't call him that anymore. He's a community cohesion official.
Officer.
Sorry?
It's community cohesion officer, CCO.
And how's that feel, Andy? Being rebranded?
It's good. it's not about confrontation anymore. You know, the force had its fair share of problems. The team doesn't have as many.
This is very topical for the world right now. I know, right?
Couldn't or wouldn't?
I don't know what you want me to say.
Christ, you're fucking useless, aren't you? We'll come back to you later. Jenny?
I don't want to be on the news, Jeremy.
That's perfectly understandable. Who'd want to do this? Jenny, why did you join the National Nightly News team?
Remember the fan. It's
I
no.
always wanted to work in
This is more important than the fan.
Yes, but why specifically this program? The National Nightly News.
It was the news everyone trusted.
Was?
Is. Do you really want to quibble semantics at gunpoint?
Is there something else you'd rather discuss?
Well, there is a great big Alan James-sized elephant in the room you seem to be ignoring.
What do you mean?
I saw your face when that hood came down. You didn't know, did you?
It's about the message, not the messenger.
Like I said, you didn't know.
No. I didn't know. The people I met were with... He wasn't there.
God,
I didn't know it was Alan James.
I'm sorry. But seriously, Alan fucking James. You're flushing your life down the toilet for... God, I love you, Jeremy, but...
He's a good speaker. He's popular in the country.
That right?
Look, forget Alan James. there is still something deeply wrong. And you know it, Jenny, and you know it, Andy, and you at home, you know it too. Meanwhile, I'm interviewing a guest who stinks of shit. Patrick is paddling about in shit, and Robin is literally interviewing someone who collects the fucking
Is
stuff.
the lack of trigger discipline.
I mean, it's not sophisticated, but what a metaphor. We are sleepwalking our way into oppression.
Everyone needs to hear this. I'm sorry, everyone needs to hear this. I'm not censoring anything.
Says who? Alan fucking James.
What are all those scientists working on at Grantham Downs? What are they testing underground at Altergrave? Andy, your turn. Make yourself fucking useful. How many people have you brought in for consultations just because they weren't carrying or didn't have team membership cards?
Oh, well, there's other forms of identification that we will accept.
For how long?
We're just here to help.
Then why do you need these?
Why do you need guns? Yeah.
It's not really help when it's offered at gunpoint, is it, Andy? Let me demonstrate it for you. Let me help you. You read these cards and my notes on it, and you'll probably digest a fact. That'd be helpful, wouldn't it, Andy? Knowing a fact?
What? I don't understand.
Do you want my help,
Yes,
Andy?
yes, whatever you say, yes.
Security are here, Jeremy.
Eat it.
What?
Eat the fucking news, Andy, or I'll force it down your fucking throat.
Jeremy, stop.
Go on.
Really?
Eat it. Eat it, you fucking bully.
Jeremy, stop.
They will kill you. Please, don't make me watch that.
Of course. You're right. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. You can put the card down now, Andy. You can go now. You too, Jenny. Fuck off over there. We're nearly done.
Don't you...
All cameras on me. This new regime of ours is so seductive. I understand that. But before we all hand off our freedoms, should we ask to whom we're handing them over? Don't you want to know what's being done in your name? How many people were transitioned last month? A record high. Again, if you care. Shouldn't someone ask Advance how they plan to deal with this blockade? How many years or months of supplies we have? Why aren't we asking these questions instead of whose shit is this? There's a cat backstage dressed as a fucking goalie, for Christ's sake. He's even got the little gloves. Anyway, that's why
I'm
I
okay.
wanted you all to see that broadcast from the last break. I didn't know it was going to be him, but I guess that just about sums it up. We are all up Ship Creek with a paddle made of Alan fucking James. Christ, it's also fucking pointless.
Oh, Jeremy.
I was going to quit tonight. Take a holiday. Try something else.
I like
Alan,
Jeremy. He's a good. He's just interesting.
Having a relationship. I hear they're nice.
Oh.
Never tried it. I loved the news. And now, well...
God, Jeremy, don't!
I've tried my best to be honest with you, but this just isn't the news anymore.
No.
I'm sorry. I've lost this fight.
Alex, think of the consequences.
I've let you down.
Please, we can't show this cut to the
Oh no, I won't.
Why?
No one needs to see him shoot himself. No, that's not on. Who the hell would want to broadcast him killing himself? No! Jeremy, don't do it! Don't do it, Jeremy, don't do it! You either die a hero, the man behind the hood. Are my achievements. You received our full wages. I still got money, I still got money, I still got money. One thing I will do before we finish the stream is I'm going to see how much extra you get to see if you don't... Because obviously I cut Is that the first A+ you got? Yeah, because it just automatically people wanted to watch it because there's a guy waving a gun round. Or because you left the swearing in. Yeah, exactly. A tape to remember. You wake up, still partly in shock from what you saw on the news last night. What you had to edit on the news last night. When you come downstairs, you find your family sat in the living room waiting for you. You take a seat on the sofa. Sam swallows, hesitating before you start. We were so worried about you last night. After Jeremy, after everything that happened. I wonder what they'll do with him. Are you okay? Lock him up, probably. Can't say it. I can't shake the feeling you might be right. I can't shake the feeling they might be right. Sam looks to the kids, then back to you. We saw that you chose to play that tape. I didn't feel like I had a choice. What? That's not good enough. Disrupt are bad people. I can't believe you did that. Oh, God. Charlie's outburst seems to come from out of nowhere. Yeah. Do you even think about how this stuff affects people? You fucking... Charlie was always a bit black and white about this sort of thing. For what it's worth, Alex, I think you were in an impossible situation and somehow you managed to make the right call. Sam throws their arms around you. Only you were stuck in the studio having to make that choice. No one can criticise you for what you did. I'm proud of you. You've never been so grateful to have Sam support you. You take a deep breath and gather your thoughts. That it's all a lot to take in. You're not sure you've fully processed what happened last night, let alone what Charlie and Sam think about it all. I know this is an incredibly difficult thing and we don't always agree, but I do think that you made the right choice. Susie smiles at you. You had to play it. There was just no other option. So it's just Charlie that hates me then. It's nice at least you've got some company. The TV's playing through some old Western show, but it's not quite as distracting as you'd hoped. You were never going to please everyone. So yeah, Sam's with me, Susie's with me, but Charlie is against me, but he's fucking brainwashed. A questionable choice. You got off work today, a rare enough occurrence to put a spring in your step. As you close the front door, you hear an excited conversation bubbling from the kitchen. Clearly someone's popped around for a cuppa on Sam's Friday off. Hopefully there's still some biscuits left. As you enter the kitchen, you see Sam, Susie and Susie enthusiastically discussing something. Your daughter's still in her scrubs, clearly having come straight from work. I got the posting I was hoping for, she gushes. I'll be doing my placement in the new transition centre, really helping people like Grandma. A transition centre? Why would you want to work at one of those horrible places? That's amazing news! Congratulations! The five of you sit around the table for the first time in a while and celebrate the news. 6 of you if you include Emma, Mum's nurse. Grandma's a bit better this evening and you hear her talking with Susie in hushed tones throughout the night. You don't cook often, but tonight everyone's complimenting the chef. Who knows how many more evenings you'll get like this. Oh, Jeremy, please tell me he didn't blow his brains out. Oh my God. I think it said they were going to lock him up anyway. A burden born. It's been 6 months since you and Sam discussed Grandma's ever-increasing medical costs, and Emma, whilst very pleasant, has proved as expensive a nurse as you'd feared. You can't quite believe it's been that long already, but the sanctions are really starting to hit home now, and unfortunately the government's only solution to help the ailing elderly is a trip to a transition centre. Why does everything always seem to come back to money? I know, that's the thing, like, you know, the whole idea of them getting to power was they were going to take money from the rich people and that they were going to separate it out towards everybody. And all they seem to be doing is making poor people still poor. The rich people are now poor. Nobody has any money anymore. Like, you know, we've got, what, 2 jobs coming into the house? Maybe 3 with Susie's? Possibly 4 if Charlie gets paid for what he does? And we're in fucking debt trying to look after one person. It's bullshit. This really does hit home though, doesn't it? Like real life home. This time, it's you at the kitchen table, surrounded by bills and paperwork, when Sam comes to join you. Today, Emma told you that there was really nothing more you could do, except an expensive experimental new treatment that might not even help. Great. Sometimes your mum wants the treatment. More often, she talks about visiting a transition centre. It's hard to know what she really wants. Sam puts a hand on yours. What are you going to do, honey? She's your mother. It has to be your choice. There's nothing left we can do. We can't afford the treatment. That's it. These things are never really a choice. Hopefully the kids will understand. It was all you could do given the circumstances, if only things had been different. Oof. Oh, we're going back in. I'm wondering if this scene is Jeremy dying and then those two talking about it. I do hope he's all right. Poor Jeremy. He was always the one that made me laugh. I loved Jeremy. I hope he's not dead. The 20-week war. Oh, great. Oh, what the fuck is this?
We're expecting those troublemakers at Disrupt to attempt to hack the channel during the broadcast, so keep an eye on the interference screen and stay out of the orange. Let's keep the news on the air. It's important, now more than ever.
So, Julia's team have asked me to ask you to keep it light.
Well, what does that mean?
It means to do that thing you do where you turn politicians into humans. Just don't get drawn into talking about the war, politics in general. Really.
They do know this is the news, don't they?
You didn't hear this from me, but... Apparently, there's a crew at Team HQ right now. I think she's giving a speech or something tonight. They'll get it on the late news.
Oh, great. So they get the brains and we get the performing monkey.
Sometimes you sound just like him, you know.
How are you?
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I miss him too, you know.
10 seconds, everybody.
Aww.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. This is the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolfe. It's the 140th day of war. Our main headlines tonight. Company of heroes. Skirmishes on land and sea again today as our armed
I hope he's not dead.
Of the World Council's illegal blockade.
It's called a necessary upgrade,
Advancing
yeah.
strategy of multiple small-scale incursions into the disputed zone is certainly keeping the enemy on high alert, unable to work out where or when the next strike will come. Proud parents throughout the territory find themselves ever more impressed by the bravery and commitment.
I need to keep it out of the orange or I'm in
and the
trouble.
job they're doing, keeping
So I
supply
just
lines
got to
open
keep
against
everybody
all
happy
possible
today.
odds. Don't starve. Advance's food programme moved from strength to strength today as rationing depots were opened in the last remaining unfed areas of the territory. The rationing depots have been constructed in record time, and the government's agricultural coordination strategy has seen shelves restocked with increasing regularity. And judging by the looks on this happy family's faces, it can't come a moment too soon. They'll be getting a good meal tonight on the government, just like the rest of us. 7 days to die. The recent decision
That's a
to
video
allow
game.
those with long-term health conditions to access transition centres has today been declared an overwhelming success. Previously available only to those in their final years, the expansion of the service has been met with relief by the many organisations calling for it to be opened up to the wider community. The transition centres have reported larger than expected numbers, but report that they are coping well and able to provide a complete and meaningful service to all who choose to use it. Populace. More than 11% of the population have thus far failed to register for a team membership card, a worrying statistic given that the cards are a legal requirement from midnight tonight. It's up to the other 89% of us to remind our tardy friends that not taking advantage of all the exclusive services available to cardholders is now, as it should be, absolutely criminal. Sympathy for the devils? A poorly attended protest was held today by struggling self-styled resistance movement Disrupt. Support for the organisation has been falling after this and other news outlets showed the public their true colours. Disrupt spokesman Alan James said the demonstration was to remind people that, although they may have been less vocal in recent weeks, they remain the only real resistance to advance. And finally tonight, our mutual friend. Bail was denied in the High Court today for shamed former national nightly news anchor Jeremy Donaldson. The presenter will be transferred to new lodgings at Penton Ridge Prison, while the lengthy
I won't have him
preparations for
holding
his
the gun.
trial, which is still 18 months away, begin. Since being taken into custody 10 weeks ago in this very studio, little has been heard from our former colleague. Despite how things ended, we wish him the best, and we'll be sure to bring you all the details of that court case every night. But first tonight, with the war about to enter its 21st week, I'll be chatting with Peter Clement live in an exclusive team talk from his home in Lanfordshire. Don't go away. You won't want to miss a second of tonight's National Nightly News.
Concentration activated. There we go.
Later in the programme, I'm thrilled to say I'll be chatting with mega pop star Lil C, who's going to be treating us to a world premiere of her new single. And then after that, in part 3, we've got something new I promise you won't want to miss. But first tonight, let's check in with Prime Minister Peter Clement, who's coming to us through the magic of television all the way from his home in Lanfordshire. Are you receiving me, Prime Minister?
Loud and clear, Miss Wolf. Loud and clear.
Well, let's start with the obvious. What's that in your hand, Prime Minister?
Cheeky cow. But yeah, it's true. 75 days without an alcoholic drink, and I've got to say, I'm beginning to feel the benefits.
It certainly looks that way.
Well, I made a promise to Mrs. C, and as my old man used to say...
A promise is worth keeping?
Well, something like that, only with assholes.
So, I've heard from my sources that you and the illustrious Mrs. C plan to take your winter break somewhere a little different this year.
That's right. We're planning a walking holiday right here in the territories, which is different for us because, like you, Megan, I've always been a big fan of those warm foreign beaches.
Did you make this decision because of the blockade, Prime Minister?
Well, now that's a good question. Well, as you know, while the blockade has effectively restricted the flow of goods into the country, we and our neighbours have continued to allow
that was tough. The orange line is them trying to hack into the news feed, Cheese. The disrupt the anarchy group.
It just doesn't.
So I've just got to keep an eye out that when it comes on.
After all, as my old man used to say, when life gives you shite, make shite pie.
It works just as well with lemons and lemonade.
Oh, they're coming back again.
Prime Minister, maintaining a healthy body like yours at a time of national crisis must require some demanding planning. What's your regime and how do you go about it all?
Well, the truth be told, it's all down to Claude, my infinite.
So that orange band at the top is their broadcast that I'm trying to avoid if I can.
On that very subject, how are you and Mrs. C handling living on rations?
Well, let me tell you, Megan, back in the 50s, when I worked for you backstage for your Patrick Brannan's dad, did you know I did that?
I think everyone knows that, Prime Minister.
Well, what you probably didn't know was that Graham Bannon was a right tightwad, paid the bare bloody minimum and still found every possible excuse he could to dock your pay even further. I remember he once docked me a whole $5 for having an unacceptably smelly lunchbox, type bastard. Anyway, what I'm saying is back then I ate a lot less than I am now, even under rationing. We all did. And let's face it, there are still plenty of people in this country who could afford to lose a little bit of weight.
What are you implying?
Yeah,
No, but seriously, Prime Minister, we know you're very busy,
the red is to stop them swearing on broadcast.
Oh, well, go on then.
When you get home from a long day, your head full of the territory's hopes and fears, what music do you listen to when you work out to take your mind off things?
Well, I know I've got a bit of a reputation for being an old fuddy-duddy, but I'd be lying if I didn't say there's something about Lil C that just demands one's attention.
Well, let's hope you stay watching, Prime Minister, because she is going to be talking and performing live after the break.
Oh, I'll be watching. After all, as my old man used to say, everything's a treat on a boring Friday with nothing but the wind up your shunt.
It's Wednesday, Prime Minister.
I think the expression still stands.
Peter Clement, thank you for joining me. I don't know about you at home, but I think there's something kind of inspirational there. I know I feel safer. When we come back, Lil C is going to be giving us the debut performance of her new single, and I'll be getting to meet her. As her biggest fan, I don't mind telling you I'm pretty excited. Don't go away. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back. Ripping stuff.
Was that even news?
I think you forgot to ask him what his favourite number is.
Oh, I must have forgotten that in all the excitement.
So assuming it's not vodka, what do you think's actually in that milk? I reckon it's the tears of his enemies.
You are one disturbed individual.
Okay.
Those girls. I'm so bad. I feel so sad about Jeremy. No, to right, that's the audience cheer and laughing. Oh yeah, we haven't used this yet. Clapping, thumbs down, laughing. Shock. I assume I'll be using that. Yes.
You'll need the new buttons during the next sections.
Okay.
First, we'll need applause when the guest enters, and before her song. Don't worry, I'll walk you through it when we get there.
Okay, boss. I got D grade? Oh, well, it's not my fault that we were being hacked, okay? Jesus Christ. I'm good, but I'm not that good. Sad face.
Fail to thrive, even in this most challenging of times. And one day, soon now, when this turbulent time is behind us, we will glide into a new...
I'm jealous of your snacks, by the way. I am eating milk chocolate salted caramel fudge pieces.
What? 5, 4.
Very nice, by the way.
Thanks for coming back. Later, we have an exciting new feature
Drools.
that we just know you're going to love, so stay tuned for that. But first, I'm really excited for our next guest. She rose to prominence as the delightful Susie May in All My Daughter's Children's Men, before taking the music industry by storm this year with her debut album smashing the chart records at the age of just 20. Let's give it up and welcome Lil C! May I just say, you look incredible.
Oh, thanks, babe. I'm doing this new regime and it really does work.
Ooh, what's the regime?
And my manager suggested it to me. It basically involves bathing in like cabbage water and then having the leaves sucked out of you while you sleep.
Wow, is that healthy?
Oh, well, look at me, Meg. The leaves are my only nourishment.
Yep, they certainly are. Now, you'll have to forgive me, but I'm somewhat of a super fan, so I'm sorry if I get a bit starstruck.
Oh, bless you. I've never actually heard of you before, so if you do get a little tongue-tied, I can always carry the interview.
Oh, that's good to know. So your first album, F My Face Together, it hit shelves this summer and it just exploded. I mean, what was that like for you?
Bonkers, just so weird. I was in all the papers and the magazines. Overnight I went from that like annoying little girl from that show to that like sexy little girl from that show.
Wow, that must have been bizarre.
Not really, it was just like any other morning. You know, get up at 5, go on a 4-mile run, have 3 meetings on my cabbage bath, but then only then was my dad actually talking to me.
Oh, of course. I mean, the famed country singer, Billy Bob Jean Short. I didn't know you'd been estranged.
There's nothing that strange about it, Megan. Okay, yes, he may believe that aliens told him to hate women, but there really isn't anything to prove that he's wrong.
Uh-huh. So, this newfound explosion to your popularity, I mean, did that change your life?
Well, I had to start wearing like nicer underwear, you know, for the paparazzi. But as my manager says, best to make the most of it before I'm 30.
Is that right? So what's the album about?
So I thought it was about like how pretty and great I am, but actually it's about monetizing youth, I think, or about like promoting an unrealistic standard of beauty or something.
Your manager again?
Yeah, he says insecurity is an opportunity.
Oh, do you think he'd be happy with you telling us all this?
Telling you all what? It really doesn't matter what I say here. I'll do my dancing and then this part will all be forgotten about.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, we're going to see some of those famous dance moves very shortly because you're going to be performing your new single, aren't you?
Yeah, it's from my album Put It In My A Together and it's out tomorrow.
So soon, after the last one?
Oh yeah, I've actually released 2 albums since lunchtime and a clothing line during this interview. See, this is called Cry for Help, and it's going to be in all the best high street and retailer shops. And it's out now. So girlies, you know what to do. Scream and cry until somebody gets it for you.
Ooh. There she goes. Blimey. All these projects, they're keeping you very busy, aren't they? It must be tough.
Yeah, it can get tough, and I hate it sometimes, and I hate myself. I just want to, like, cry into a bath of root veg. But then I think thousands of girls would do anything to be me, so I must be quite lucky.
Well, you know you don't have to do this, though, don't you?
Yeah, I do think that sometimes. Most nights, between, like, my 4th vodka and the 8th time a stranger slaps me around the arse, I think things could have been different. You know, like, better. I don't know. I love doing autographs.
Oh no, no, stop. Oh.
Did you always want to do music?
Well, ever since I was a little girl, I'd sit in front of the radio, and as soon as my favourite girl group would come on, I pressed record. And
Oh God. Well, I just didn't know what was going on there.
Sorry, is your dad your manager?
Yeah, which can be tough. And sometimes when it gets really hard, he'll say, "Make Quagler proud, and you might just survive childbirth."
Well, you know what, despite anything, you'll make me proud.
Oh, if only your opinion was as valuable as his.
And on that problematic note, you're going to be singing your song for us soon, aren't you? Tell me about it.
So it's called These Babies Gonna Bring You Home, and I actually got sent the lyrics in the car on the way up here. But you know what? It's actually alright. And don't worry, all my work is team approved.
All right then. Well, you can go and get ready for that. We'll see you in a little bit. It was a very specific type of pleasure to chat to her.
Yeah.
I just can't wait to hear this. Oh, so here is Lil C with an exclusive first performance of her new track, These Babies Gonna Bring You Home. Take it away.
It's the Force's favorite, the queen of teams, here to break in your blockades, Lil C.
Oh baby, can't you see I'm hungry? There's a place in me that's empty. I want that meat you're packing, only you can fill that crack in me.
What is this?
So come and free me. Ain't no disruption here, boy, I got no agenda. Just want the team and me, no dirty foreign member. Don't stop no morning drill, there's holes in me that ain't been filled yet. I only scream this loud when you do your country proud. I ain't no Vickers, gotta come and skirmish on my border. Quick before I get much older, tie me down and pour me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier. So let them try and break our dream. We fight and love and die at two. So what a Peter Clemens boys can come and use me as a toy. I wanna see some action, so come and break my sanctions.
What am I even watching?
I've been this wild and free since Mama burdened me. She was only 53, but gave to save her family. There's no one judging me if I'm the one that's in your fantasy. Don't die alone, these babies gonna bring you home. I ain't no Vickers, gotta come and skirmish on my border. Quick before I get much older, tie me down and pour me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier. So what if Peter Clemens boys can come and use me as a toy and flip me over, grab my hair, rip off my clothes and dump them there? I wanna see some action, so come and break my sanctions.
What the hell is this?
you from the world outside, I don't know what
I don't know what will.
Well, for doing that, don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll finally be revealing the new segment of our show that we just know you're going to love. We'll be back right after this.
And we're out.
Oh my god, that was horrible. Yeah, and leave.
Can I just say, thank you so much for letting me do this. It really means a lot to me, you know.
Yeah.
To be able to promote myself on such a mainstream platform like the news.
Well, don't worry about it. And you know what? Good luck for the future. Take care of yourself. This industry can be crazy sometimes. Watch out for that father of yours. Won't you?
Oh, no. I manage myself. It's just, you know, for the public to have that certain perspective of me. You know what it's like.
Oh, right.
And Michael? Michael?
What about Billy Bob Jean Short?
Oh, my dad. He's such a sweetheart. We both had the same agents, you know, like it just made sense. Both of us for our image together.
Wow.
And Michael, I want to see the revenue share for the clothing line and get me a G&T before my meeting with the lube guys. If they say for your pleasure, I'm going to start needing it.
Wow.
This next section will need you to use all 4 of the sound effects to help things along. Try and pick the most appropriate one at each given moment.
Well, the fact is, Jen, weren't enough flowers in my dressing room.
Okay.
Exactly 12, as it said in your rider.
Do I look like the sort of person who counts things? No, not anymore. I'm better than that now. I'll tell you what, just keep adding flowers until it feels like 12. Got it?
Absolutely, right away. 10 seconds.
Wow. Here we go again.
5, 4, 3.
Thanks for joining us for part 3. We've been teasing you about our new feature all night, and now the wait is finally over. I can reveal that every night on the show will be treated to an episode of an informative and hilarious new segment called The Notice Board. It stars some top talent and we're very excited about it. But before we see it, let's have a quick chat with the writer, director and phenomenon, may I say, Jeff Algebra, guys!
Actually, I've dropped the algebra. I go by Jeff DePloon now. How'd you like that?
Well, yeah, very fancy. I suppose you need a new name now that you're a successful artiste.
Well, exactly. I'm earning enough to pay taxes now.
Oh.
It's shit.
And how does Angela feel about all this?
Who?
Your wife.
Ah! Oh, God, no. No! No, she's long gone. No, she was holding me back. I'm with Norm now. We were married last month.
Norm de Plume.
Yeah.
And why did you write this? What was your inspiration?
Well, I received a telephone call offering me 25 grand to write a pro-team sitcom, and I heard my father's voice. It said, Jeff, you listen here, boy. You make hay while the sun shines. You wring every penny you can get out of this. So I wheeled him down to the transition centre, got out my typewriter and started clacking.
Wow.
Utter shite.
And without further ado, let's give it up for the notice board.
Excellent, you're unnatural. Keep it up.
Good morning, Miss Craven.
Oh, morning, Ray.
Everything all right, Mrs. Craven? You look as worried as the vicar in closing time.
Oh, Ray, it's those young louts. They've vandalized my shop again.
No!
Yes! They've written all sorts of obscene language and crude pictures, and I know it's those damn youths.
I don't know. It could be the vicar at closing time.
I'm just worried they won't ever become productive members of the community. What if they never see the error of their ways and end up as social outcasts, such as shoplifters or bong rats?
Don't worry, Mrs. Craven.
This is a very supportive community, and I'm sure that in time they will fit into this society like this key into this lock.
Some of these don't work for these segments.
See? Works like a charm.
What a lovely way to put it, Ray. And just like that, we can unlock their future.
Yes, yes. Wow! Look at all the letters in my collection today.
Oh, I think that one's addressed to me.
This is so weird.
This one? Oh, so you're right. Here it is.
It's a letter from my granddaughter, Brenda. She says she got an A on her maths exam because one of her friends has been helping her.
His hand's stuck in the thing!
Team player was our Brenda.
His hand's stuck in the fucking...
Losers!
Oh, no. It's Brad. He's the coolest guy in the village.
That's right. I just got here on my motorbike.
Oh, clear off, Brad. We don't want any of your ilk around here.
What? Rad dudes?
No, ruffians. Have you come to tag the notice board with your gang signs?
No way. I've actually come to pin my resume on that notice board. I'm looking to do some tutoring after school.
What did you say? Tutoring?
That's right. Maths is very important. Would you mind, Ray?
Not at all.
So you, a young person, have been spending your time helping others and not just urinating on churches or huffing glue?
Hey, I haven't huffed glue for months.
Well, blow me down!
You know what? We misjudged you based on how
His
young
fucking
and
head stuck is brilliant.
you are, and not on your actions.
No doy.
So it wasn't you who vandalized my shop last night or called me a rancid old crone from the back of a chopper?
No way. It can't have been me. I was too busy helping my friend Brenda with her maths homework.
Could you speak up there? I thought for a minute there that you said Brenda.
I did, you daft old sow.
Did you hear that, Ray?
Oh, yes, what a wonderful surprise. I now respect you as a man.
Put her there, Ray. Oh, what the heck? Give us a hug.
What? What the hell? The fuck's going on? That generally terrified me there for a second. What the hell? Was
Sorry
it?
to interrupt the first groundbreaking episode of the notice board, but we're receiving some breaking news. I'm being told we're picking up reports from across the continent of what appear to be...
What?
Oh God, what appear to be nuclear explosions
What?
in 4 major foreign cities. Initial estimates put the death toll into the millions.
Fucking hell.
I'm being told that we're experiencing some power fluctuations as a result, so apologies to any interruption to the broadcast for you at home. And now I am told that we are going live to team headquarters for an emergency broadcast from Prime Minister Julia Salisbury at any moment. Yes, let's go to that now.
Good evening, citizens and leaders of the world. Minutes ago, operatives working for Advance detonated nuclear explosives simultaneously
Why?
in 4 major cities across the country.
Why?
We have similar devices in 58 other urban centres and will not hesitate to detonate them if our conditions are not met in full and without delay. The people of our territory will no longer tolerate your illegal and genocidal blockade. You are to remove it immediately. We will accept nothing less than your unconditional surrender. Your territories will be taken under our control. We will install replacement governments to ensure that your citizens become part of the new future. Your borders are now our borders. Your people are our people. They will finally be fed and clothed and educated and healed.
If they're not dead already.
But for your privileged few, the moment that they feared is now upon them. Allow me to be crystal clear. If you fire a single shot at our territory, or harm a single one of our citizens, we will not hesitate to detonate further devices.
Shit.
You will not find them, though no doubt you are already searching for them. Our technology is decades ahead of yours. We will expect your complete acceptance of our terms by midnight tonight.
I got it. I got it. Don't worry. I got it. I got it, Cheese. I got it.
Well, okay, so there you have it. Advance making a brave move that looks likely to end the war. In this, it's
yeah, she's gonna murder thousands of people, pollute the planet, and cause people who live in this country to suffer with nuclear, you know, detonation and gas and shit.
We've gone too far. But I'm thinking of our sick and ill, denied their medicines. The children with no food on their plates and the body bags returning from the front line. And I ask myself if without some big, bold gesture it would ever stop, and I do not think it ever would. We elected Advance to make this country better for us all, and it was working. But then the rest of the world looked at us and they said this cannot be seen to succeed. And they brought their warships and their tanks and their planes just to make sure that we were instead seen to suffer. To make sure no one anywhere would ever attempt this again. So, to my mind, our government have taken the only path available to them. A difficult decision for their hearts to bear, but one that ultimately we can respect because it is designed to keep us
I
safe.
feel like she's only saying this so she doesn't
And
end
while
up like
this is
Jeremy.
unquestionably a dark night, it may indeed presage the dawn of a new future. My name's Megan Wolf. Let's make tomorrow better.
And we're out.
Strength to strength.
Do you ever get the feeling that you're making history?
Wow. To be continued. Wow. No, that was a really good chapter. For all the that's the thing about this game. For all the humor in it, it's so like it makes the moments that are more serious just feel more impactful with the stupid silly things in it as well. It's just crazy. I mean, good job, guys. everybody that works on this. I mean, it's a really unique concept and I love it. It's fun, there's challenge, it's strategically based, it's good, it's just good. It's funny, you've got crazy things going on. But it is kind of just a silly take on life, you know, how the news can't always be the news. They have to kind of show things, they're supposed to show things from a biased nature, but things can be covered up, things can be made to look better than they are. So no, it's good. I liked it. I want to see the rest of the scene before Jeremy gets taken away, when he went to shoot himself, and obviously I cut to the adverts because no one needs to see that. So we will check that out, and then the stream shall be over for today.
This is Alan James. The revolution starts tonight, Alex. And we need your help.
We're so proud to be here today on this, the 500-day anniversary of the...
It's time to choose. Alex, whose side are you on?
The final chapters.
After all, doesn't your family deserve a good, nutritious meal in these difficult times?
But before we go, one final thought.
The best is yet to come. Jeremy's back! Yes! Bring my boy home!
Hi, I'm Alex.
I'm Andy. And I'm Dan. Jay, we said Zoom backgrounds.
Oh, sorry, boys. We're the developers of Not for Broadcast, and we want to thank you so much for supporting our little game so far.
We're now 2/3 of the way through the story.
But as we film this in January 2021, the UK is back in lockdown.
We don't know when we'll next be able to film with a full cast and crew.
So once again, we have to ask you to please be patient with us.
And if you want to talk to us in the meantime,
come chat with us on Discord at discord.gg/notforbroadcast.
We stream on Twitch every first and third Thursday of the month at twitch.tv/NotGamesUK. We always check the Steam forums for any suggestions or problems you may have.
And we read every Steam review, even the horrible ones, because your opinion matters to us.
So all that remains to say is thank you so much for playing our weird little game.
And
see you in episode 3. Probably, if I have come up with a kill by then, I will let you know. Last time it didn't go so well for me.
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawson.
Right, would you like to view your end of level report? Yes. Oh wow, I did shite. A slight dock to pay. Broke ass poor. Manageable debt. Great.
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
Okay, let's quickly check out the archive. Rushes? Is it rushes? Headlines. Meltdown. Is it Meltdown I want to see? I think Rushes is the one I want with all the screens. Meltdown. Boiling Point, Heatwave Reports, Meltdown. I think it might be Meltdown we want to see. Peter Pedals, Notice Board, Little C. So yeah, I think it's Meltdown we want. Here we go.
How long?
Jeremy, please.
How long?
17 seconds.
And the studio doors are all still locked?
Yes. So what now?
I don't know. This wasn't what I planned. I mean, some of it was. I had a speech, look. But this was unexpected.
So what now, Jeremy?
It was supposed to be your day off.
Please, don't do any more stupid things today.
How long? How long, Jenny?
We're already live.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Joining me, unexpectedly, for what I very much imagine will be my last broadcast, are two new guests. Jenny works here at the National Nightly News and is someone I consider, well, a friend. And next to her is... What's your name?
Andy.
Andy's a policeman. Only we don't call him that anymore. He's a community cohesion official.
Officer.
Sorry?
It's community cohesion officer, CCO.
And how's that feel, Andy? Being rebranded?
It's good.
We're just going to skip through this bit.
The force had its fair share of problems. The team doesn't have as many.
The team doesn't have as many. This is actually really funny. This is really ruining a really tense moment. This is actually better. Who thinks this is better? Okay, right. I'm gonna unpause now. Back to serious.
These cards are my notes on it.
Serious now.
And you'll probably digest a fact. That'd be helpful, wouldn't it, Andy? Knowing a fact.
What? I don't understand.
Do you want my help,
Yes,
Andy?
yes, whatever you say, yes.
Security are here, Jeremy.
Eat it.
What?
Eat the fucking news, Andy, or I'll force it down your fucking throat.
Jeremy, stop.
Go on.
Really?
Eat it. Eat it, you fucking bully.
Jeremy, stop. They will kill you. Please, don't make me watch that.
Of course. You're right. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. You can put the card down now, Andy. You can go now. You too, Jenny. Fuck off over there. We're nearly done. All cameras on me. This new regime of ours is so seductive. I understand that. But before we all hand off our freedoms, should we ask to whom we're handing them over? Don't you want to know what's being done in your name? How many people were transitioned last month? A record high. Again, if you care. Shouldn't someone ask Advance how they plan to deal with this blockade? How many years or months of supplies we have? Why aren't we asking these questions instead of, whose shit is this? There's a cat backstage dressed as a fucking goalie, for Christ's sake. He's even got the little gloves. Anyway.
I want to see this cat. I want to see this cat.
I didn't know it was going to be him, but I guess that just about sums it up. We are all up Ship Creek with a paddle made of Alan fucking James. Christ, it's all so fucking pointless. I was going to quit tonight. Take a holiday. Try something else. Out of the limelight. Maybe try having a relationship. I hear they're nice. Never tried it. I loved the news. And now, well...
Oh God, Jeremy, don't!
I've tried my best to be honest with you, but this just isn't the news anymore. And I'm
Cut to
sorry.
the ads!
I've lost this
Alex.
fight.
Cut to the ads!
I've let you down.
Please, we can't show
All
this.
of
Cut to the ads!
Oh, damn! I wanted to see the rest and he wouldn't let me. No! Well, that's upset me a little bit. Oh well. I was hoping to see him like get tackled. Replay it? Oh no, because I'd have to do the whole like 45-minute segment again. So yeah, you don't want to see me sit and mess through that again. But I mean, I imagine it just would have been security breaking in, her probably begging him not to kill himself, something overly dramatic. I don't know. Either that or unless it, like, the whole thing breaks down anyway and doesn't let you do that bit. Do you want a game that will probably hit my feels? I've played plenty of those games that hit my feels. Hang on a minute. Let me just switch over to... So, thank you everybody for joining. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. It's probably my favorite. It's my favorite chapter because it's just diverged now. Like the funny humor and everything was great at the start, and then it kind of rolled into this like, you know, trying to stay funny, and then would just hit you with the kind of shocking moments like it did with Jeremy and stuff. So it's getting juicy now. I'm interested to see what action I'm gonna take depending on what's offered to me. I mean, Alan James was a bit of a tosser when you first meet him, but it will literally just come down to the values of like both sides, whichever one I feel is better. So stick around for that, hopefully. I'm not sure when that will be, as they said. When they finished doing this chapter in January, we were still in lockdown at that point, so it'll probably be a little bit of time before they get the new one out. So fingers crossed they managed to get it done. And I will be back next week. As far as I know for now, I'm only going to be doing Sunday streams until I can kind of set back up a proper schedule. And we will start off going back into Persona 4 Golden next week, and then I'm going to look at getting another day or possibly 2 days in the week to do streams, and we will stream the game that you guys voted for, and you guys want me to jump back into Darkest Dungeons, which is fine. I need to look into whether it would be worth it for me to start again or whether to carry on with what I've got. So I'll have to look into that for you guys. So it will be Persona 4 Golden next week, and then we'll look at the week after getting into Darkest Dungeons. But thanks guys for sticking around. Thank you to everybody that stopped by. Thank you to Weasel for the subscription. It's nice to have everybody back again. It's nice to be back. Nice to be back in front of my computer after like 6 months without it. So that's all I have to say for today. Thank you guys for joining. Love and hugs. You guys take care, and I will see you again soon. Bye guys. Bye.